Hi guys, this is Shannon from Reptile and welcome back to our channel. It's so good to have you back again for another build video. Now this particular build that I'm going to be showing you, it's a lot shorter build video and it's sort of what you can build and create with maybe some leftover materials you have from other builds. So for example, I just finished this snake enclosure not too long ago and I had leftover spray foam that I carved off the piece, leftover grout. So I thought a really cool build idea that I have done in the past and that will help me when it comes to cleaning my green tree python enclosure is to maybe have something that I can get the green tree python out when I'm cleaning, take it out on its perch and put it on to another perch outside of the enclosure. So this particular build, you can even use it as, I guess, more of a permanent fitting in your enclosure, or you can use it how I'm using it as well. This will work really good also for tub setups. You can create it to the size you want. So yeah, we're going to show you how to build this. And again, it's super easy. It's similar steps to all the other builds that we do. So when you spray foam or use leftover expanded foam or polystyrene sheets you found, pretty much anything, you carve it to the shape you want, then you'll grout it, then you'll carve into the grout, then you'll paint it, detail it, waterproof it, and it'll be ready for you to use. But let's dive into this video. From the leftover spray foam I had, I carved these individual rock pieces that'll be the basis for my perch. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just covering it with the black Davco sanitized grout, and you probably want to do a minimum of 4 layers just so it stands the test of time. It's also going to be heavy enough that your snake isn't going to knock it over. And you're just going to be able to build up on all the textures and make it look a little bit more realistic. And I did get a little bit excited with the grouting process that some grout, I guess, flew over that way. So make sure you've got a soapy cloth just to wipe up any little accidents. But now you want to start carving. Now when you want to carve is when the grout is almost dry but damp to the touch, and that's the best time for carving. And now what I'm doing is I'm just using the light grout mixed in with some black just to create a bit more color variance and texture. I'm sort of dabbing it on, and then I did go over it with my knife for getting carved. But make sure all your grout is completely dry, and then you can do this dry brushing technique. You just need an acrylic paint, a water-based paint, and what the dry brushing technique is when you get a little bit of the white paint on your brush, and you can wipe some of the paint off on plastic sheets that you're using or paper, wipe some of it off just so there's enough just to sort of add the textures over your rock pieces. But what this will create is it'll make it look a bit more worn, more natural. It'll pick up all those amazing textures that you have from the grouting process and carving into the grout as well. It's definitely worth doing this step if you want it to look a little bit more real and natural. Now wait for the paint to again dry before you do this. So this is the waterproofing, and you just need a clear pond sealer. So we're using the Cromlin clear pond sealer for this one, and I like to do the underside or the back of the pieces first, and then I'll flip it over. Now you want to do a minimum of 3 layers over this particular piece, and it's just going to mean if your animal defecates in it or you want to give it a clean, a wipe down, it's going to lock in all of that paint, all of that hard work, and also it creates like a fiberglass texture, which makes it a little bit easier to clean. And this is what it looks like when it's all dry, the waterproofing's done. Now it's time to add the plants. Now I personally go to Spotlight to get my plants, and I'm just using leftovers from other builds. So I quite like the look of that big sort of leafy, grassy looking plant. And it fits quite nicely in that rock piece. So I'm just using this aquarium grade silicone to secure it in place. And to give it a bit of extra pop of colour and to cover up that clear silicone, I'm going to use one of my favourite substrates. And you've got to make sure your substrate is dry so it'll adhere to the silicone. And I'm just putting that to cover up the silicone, but also to add a bit of pop of colour to look like there's dirt and there has been a plant growing in there. There's a bit of mud. And this is what the piece looks like. Now I didn't film me securing the two rock pieces on the left together, so I siliconed those two rocks together and I siliconed in place that sort of fake eucalyptus-y looking plant. And this is the build completed. We've got our green tree python Squiggle testing it out, and I do use this quite a lot for Squiggle to get Squiggle out of its enclosure and to place it on this perch when I'm cleaning. So thank you so much guys for watching this build video. If you did like the video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, hit subscribe. Again, it would really help our small channel out, and we'll see you in the next build video. Bye.